Welcome to Life of Lady Di. Subscribe, like, and share. And don't forget to turn on that notification for more wonderful, encouraging content. Let's make some greens. So I have kale greens, mustard greens, and shredded collard greens. You can get these at Walmart, Publix, the store that is near you, okay? If you don't have fresh greens available, you can always get those greens. They come pre-shredded. Remove the bigger stalks that's in the package. Make sure you wash them thoroughly and set them to the side because we need to get our broth going. I love to use different types of smoked meat. So get you a big pot of just plain water because we're going to make our own flavorful broth. I use smoked turkey wings. You can use smoked turkey neck, smoked turkey tail. You can use ham hocks. Or if you want to make it completely vegetarian, you don't have to use smoked meat at all. You can just add the following seasonings that I'm going to show you. Add chopped garlic. If you have fresh garlic, that's even better. I like to add about 3 to 4 tablespoons of chopped garlic to my boiling pot of water. And then we're also going to add some of our other seasonings. Now, remember, I'm an island girl, so I love my sazon, okay? So we're going to be adding our sazon perfect seasoning complete. You don't need to add salt to this because usually with smoked meat, there is an amount of salt that is in it, okay? We just want to impart lots of flavor, layers of flavor, and this is going to reduce until this pan is more than halfway down. We're going to keep an eye on. We're just going to let it boil, and we're going to add all of our wonderful seasonings. If you don't have any of these seasonings already, go ahead to your local store like Walmart. You should be able to find them there, no problem. And you're going to add your seasonings to your spice collection. I also like to add about 1 to 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, just a little bit to help with the acidity level. And then you're going to let that boil, all right? You're going to cover it, let it boil on high. As you see, we have the meat, and we want that meat to completely break down. We want to build layers of flavor. Now, this is a big debate, okay? People will argue that good greens takes hours. That is not true. Again, don't debate me. Debate your moms or whoever taught you that it takes like 4 or 5 hours to make tender greens. It's a vegetable. What are you doing? Like turning it to mush? Absolutely not. And no, for those who are like, oh, it's going to be crunchy. It's not crunchy. It's a green vegetable. It don't take that long to cook. I promise you. As long as you're preparing it properly, you're cutting them into small pieces, you've made your broth like you see here, where all that meat has fallen apart. This broth is full of flavor. You hear me? Like, it is absolutely delicious. Always remember to taste your food as you're making it. Grab your spoon, taste the broth. If it's missing anything, this is the time you should add that, okay? Because if it's bland before you add the greens, trust and believe it's going to be bland after you add the greens. So first I'm adding my collard greens. You see how finely shredded those are? This is why I say it does not take hours and hours to cook some really tender, delicious, flavorful greens. Because as long as you have your stock that you just made, you have your greens nice and shredded, you've removed all the big stalks from your greens, there's nothing here that should take about 3 to 4 to 5 hours. Seriously, it really shouldn't. And if you're in a hurry and you don't have time to let a broth develop over in a pan, like in a big pot like that, just use a pressure cooker. If you don't have one, invest in one. It'll be your best friend because I love using a pressure cooker because it's 2023 and I am not trying to be in the kitchen all day long. It's just not gonna happen, okay? It's just, no, that's not me. I like to get this food in there and provide for my family and spend quality time with my family. You do not have to add all these types of greens. I love a variety of greens. So now I've added my kale greens to my pot. I'm just mixing that up really well to make sure I have the collard greens mixed in with the kale greens as well. It's gonna get really, really foggy because my pot is still boiling, okay, as I'm adding everything to it. And you can just see immediately how nice and vibrant those greens are getting. We don't want to cook our greens until they don't have any color to it, like we've boiled out all the nutrients. It's not what we're doing here. We want a healthy meal, okay? You've put all this love and attention into your food to make it for yourself or for your family and for your friends, and then to turn it into like what? Nothing that's flavorful? No. And I'm also adding, finally, my mustard greens. Again, you see how nice and finely cut these greens are. This is one of the major secrets that you can use to be able to cook your greens in a shorter period of time. I know some people like to just leave their greens in big chunks. That's not me. That's not how my family taught me. That's not how I cook for my family. My mom and my daddy, they didn't teach me that. My dad's a chef, and he was like, we're not going to be boiling greens for hours and hours on end. It's just not, there's no reason, okay? So mix your greens extremely well. Make sure, it's so foggy. Make sure you have your collard greens, your kale greens, and your mustard greens mixed in really well with your meat. And then you're going to I like to add just a little bit, just a little hint of sweetener, just some plain agave, not much. You can also add maybe like a tablespoon of brown sugar. That is completely optional. Some people like it spicy. If you like it spicy, you can add a habanero pepper, when you're making your broth. It's really up to you. If you like it sweeter, just add like 4 or 5 tablespoons of brown sugar. At the end of the day, you're feeding yourself and you're feeding for your family, so you're going to make it for you and how you guys love it. And here are the greens. They're super tender, as you can see. Look at how tender the meat has completely fallen apart in there. We don't have tons of liquid. The broth is nice and concentrated. I mean, look at how delicious these greens are. Go off in the comments. If you don't believe that greens shouldn't take 4 or 5 hours, let me know. If you believe that greens only take about 1 hour to 2 hours, let me know. Let me know if you're going to try this recipe. Until next time, have a great one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you again soon.